Top 5 is written and directed and stars Chris Rock, but also has a pretty big ensemble cast of Rosario Dawson, Adam Sandler, J.B. Smoove, Kevin Hart, Jerry Seinfeld. The list goes on about all these people that are in the film. And this is about Andre Allen, who was a big time comedian. He did stand-up, then he had these 3 hammy films where they grossed a lot of money. And everybody saw him as that comedy guy, and he kind of just fell away, had some hard times, and he's being interviewed by Rosario Dawson's character, and he wants to be taken more seriously in his career. Everybody still sees him as that comedy guy, and he doesn't want to be seen as that anymore. And the movie just takes place over a day of their interview and how he feels about things, and there are some flashback scenes to his previous point in his career where he was big on, you know, drugs and alcohol, and his comedian times and his stand-up moments. So the interview between them two, they really don't know each other, and they're getting to know each other throughout the day. He's taking her to his family house and streets where he grew up, and they're just getting to know each other, also at the same time being interviewed. And he's also about to get married to a reality TV star, and his new movie is being released. So he's juggling all these different things during this interview. And I gotta say that this is one of the most refreshing films of 2014. Top 5 is a really great comedy. It's not like a lot of other comedies. A lot of other comedies, for example, like 22 Jump Street, rely heavily on its comedic moments and not a strong plot to make it a great film. I really love 22 Jump Street, but I'm just using an example of it relies heavily on its comedy to deliver to make it a good film. Top 5 here is different. It does deliver on its comedic moments, but there's not that many. There are a few scenes where I laughed a lot. This isn't a gut-busting film where you're just over your seat dying throughout the whole entire film. It's a film that focuses on its storytelling and its dialogue, as well as the comedy moments that I think makes it a really great film, a really refreshing comedy that we don't get a lot of films like this. Chris Rock did a great job writing and directing this film, providing the audience with a great story of this guy who used to be big on, you know, stand-up, and he had a lot of great films that people loved, and now he's just trying to see himself differently. And this kind of reminds me of Funny People. Adam Sandler's character in Funny People, it kind of relates to Andre Allen's character in Top 5. But what I really liked about this is the smart dialogue and the great story, and you actually feel something for the characters. You're invested in the moments that they're talking to each other. It's interesting, and I really like the dialogue between Chris Rock and Rosario Dawson. They had great chemistry throughout the film. They really liked each other throughout the film, and they understood each other where they been, because they both had some alcohol problems in the past, so they can relate to each other. And it just provides the audience with great moments of dialogue and understanding of the characters, and it's refreshing that we don't have these comedy films that rely on fart jokes and dirty sexual humor. There are a few moments in Top 5 where there's some sexual comedy moments, but it relies heavily on its smart storytelling and dialogue, and it mixes in Chris Rock's humor of stand-up comedy throughout the film, where he's talking with Rosario Dawson throughout the film. You know, they're just walking down the street, and he's using his stand-up comedy that he has done in the past, what made him so famous. He's using that in there, but also mixing in this other humor. And I really liked the other characters throughout the film, like Tracy Morgan, DMX in here as well. He's funny, and Cedric the Entertainer. Those are probably my top 3 favorite moments in the film besides Chris Rock. They were hilarious. So everybody in the film added something to the film that made it a lot better. Their humor was great. They had their own style of humor in here that added to Top 5, which made it a lot better. But the film really did focus on the interview between Chris Rock and Rosario Dawson's character. So Top 5 is probably one of the most refreshing comedies of this year. So Top 5, I'm going to go ahead and give an A. And I was wondering throughout the film and after I saw the film that Chris Rock in the movie, as seen as this comedy guy who wants to be taken more seriously, I wonder if this is how he's portraying his own life now. Chris Rock is seen as that funny guy, stand-up, the guy that stars alongside Adam Sandler films, and I wonder if he's starting to be wanting to be seen more seriously, and he's written and directed this film and says, here guys, look, I can do something else besides be that dumb comedy guy who stars alongside Adam Sandler in Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2, and I'll be taken more seriously. I want to write and direct more films. And if that is his view on life right now, go ahead, because I'm on board with him directing and writing films, because for this film he did an amazing job, and I'm curious to see how his career is going to pan out after this film.